Talking about ROWLEY, the same as KAMLA. Look at this. Flooding. Waiting game. Flooding. All over Trinidad and Tobago. Terrifying flood experience. Citizens all over the country flooding in their house, losing everything. Woodland, Caroni, banks, breach their rivers. Flood madness in this country. Forced to flee in boat with all their belongings. This is ROWLEY. And listen to the Guardian. For many citizens, particularly those who face the worst of this week's floods and landslides, the experience must have triggered bad memories of the catastrophic weather events of October 2018. So we in 2021, October 2018, ROWLEY was Prime Minister. Catastrophic events, loss, devastation. Therefore, a Prime Minister should have at that time implemented strategies, mitigating strategies, put in drainage plans and so on, so that that cannot happen again. 3 years later, total complete failure. On that occasion, the worst floods in decades followed 2 days of rainfall on October 19th and 20th, which caused rivers in Caroni, Diego Martin, Maraval to breach their banks. Residents in surrounding communities had to be evacuated. Several areas were inaccessible, and millions of dollars in property damage was incurred. That's 2018. Therefore, ROWLEY's the leader, ROWLEY's the Prime Minister, must put things in place to provide solutions to solve the problem. 3 years later, problem worse, problem exacerbated, problem not solved. Therefore, conclusion, ROWLEY is incompetent. ROWLEY should resign. Someone else should have the job. Isn't that normal? More than 150,000 people were directly affected, and the situation was serious enough for Prime Minister Dr. Keith ROWLEY to declare the event a national disaster. Almost 3 years later, questions must be asked about the level of disaster preparedness across the country since then, and whether enough was done by the relevant ministries and agencies ahead of this year's hurricane season to mitigate against floods and landslides. So they are still now asking the question. We don't see that nothing changed. Failure to failure. The Guardian saying, oh, we need to ask the question, was enough done to mitigate? No, nothing was done. Total, complete failure, waste of time. Ridiculous. It's worse now than 2018 because less rain fell in this period than in the October 19th and 20th. But on top of that, while you all saying ROWLEY and KAMLA are the same, let us really see. Let's see, as the entire country was devastated by floods for 2 days. Entire regions underwater. People suffering hundreds of millions of dollars in losses. Animals, crops lost. Let us see what the Prime Minister today, what this Prime Minister, Keith Christopher ROWLEY, while all his citizens are suffering, let's see what ROWLEY did, because we're saying that ROWLEY and KAMLA are the same. Okay. People flood out. People suffering. Let's see what ROWLEY was doing. Show me, please.
So,
Bobby had died
Oh, C3.
I can't believe it.
So ROWLEY is from the north.
What
drove
the
all
crowd
the way through devastated, flooded out areas. To go to C3 Mall, he drove past all the black people, all the brown people, to look for pink people in the C3 Mall in a suit, fancy shoes, soft shoes, and a well-laundered suit to go C3 Mall. While all of the citizens are suffering and flooded out and mopping out, losing their bed, their properties, drainage, their TVs, their fridges, no food, no water. This clown in a dress-up fancy suit and shoe went C3 Mall to look for a photo op. Oh, he went to the mall. Okay, that's ROWLEY. Let us see what Prime Minister KAMLA Prasad Bisesa did when on the day that she swore in and was dressed up, paid makeup artists and so on and hairdresser to do her hair and makeup because it's an important day, a day of swearing in as Prime Minister, the first Prime Minister female in the history of Trinidad and Tobago, a very important day for a little girl from Siparia who came up by her bootstraps. Let's see what she did on that day. Oh, what? Boots, vest, long pants, walking with the people, checking on people to make sure they're okay, have all the ministers walking with her, issuing instructions, looking to see what is done, make sure children are all right, giving words of inspiration, lifting people who are depressed, talking to human beings, showing them empathy, sympathy, moving forward, and then instructing the ministers relevant. Chandra Sharma, I want this done in local government. I want brooms, mattresses, Clorox, all of these put in the corporations. I owe the PM, you, Minister of National Security, come out, do this. I want the ODPM to move faster. Why are these people not there? What is this? Why are you, Fire Services, National Security, we need to make sure that they have riverine rescue and they have equipment to meet people and save lives. You, Works and Transport, what is causing this? Plan in 2 months, get it. And from 2010, there was only one more set of flood in Diego Martin, and all her 6 ministers and everything was there so fast that the PNM and ROWLEY was balling, but so fast and so much money and so much help for people. What, KAMLA? Corruption, too much help for people. Do you all recall that? So you tell me, C3, fancy shoe, ugly man, dotish ram, goatweed, honey goatweed clung in C3 mall while people suffering. Or KAMLA Prasad Bisesa on the day that she swear in. Look what she did. You tell me if both of them is the same.